What video game do you consider a masterpiece? Portal 2. I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad. I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day it thought is. Could give me lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's going to burn your house down. With the lemons. I'm going to get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down. Stardew Valley. I understand it's like a lot of other games, but it is still unique in its own way and a perfect game. I don't know why I assumed nobody would mention SDV. Reading the reviews on Steam from people who have completely changed their perception of the genre, who have incorporated as part of their daily lives, and even as far as people who have decided to remain living on Earth simply because of the impact this game had is resounding. It encompasses the absolute best from each individual harvest rune factory farming, as my husband likes to call them, game, and gives us all the things we didn't know were missing. Reasonably diverse characters, family dynamics, lives, stresses, problems, issues, joys, the works. Nobody is perfect, and yet everyone is. I've seen time and time again that updates are released that include an incredibly popular mod as base game content, like he sees how much that content improves playability and seeks to extend it to everyone at no extra charge. The graphics are so incredibly simple, but somehow nothing else would have been right. Hundreds if not thousands of newer indie games seem to have adopted the same style after seeing how much fans of SDV loved it. Music? Incredible. Why? I have absolutely no idea, and honestly, the price. That man deserves, quite easily, double what he is charging for the game on every platform. I picked it up at full price and honestly feel like I've cheated him financially for the sheer amount of hours I've gotten out of it without even managing to touch on every inch of content. I've even gone ahead and purchased it on another platform and play it heavily there too. BioShock 1. BioShock blew me away when I first played it. I remember seeing the trailer and was intrigued by a different looking FPS at the time that wasn't COD or Halo. I had no idea BioShock was so much more than just a cool looking FPS. It still holds up today in my opinion. Literally from the very beginning, I had no idea what the game was about. All I had seen was that teaser trailer. I still remember the first time riding in that bathysphere, listening to Andrew Ryan. Then you come over that ridge and you see Rapture, this huge underwater city. It was amazing. Disco Elysium. A point-and-click RPG that will destroy you emotionally and also make you laugh till you cry. You're a cop who wakes up after a 3-day bender that completely eradicated your memory and concept of society. Now you have to solve a murder. Possibly the best game I've ever played. Definitely the only game that has challenged me on a literary, emotional, and philosophical level, and isn't afraid to be weird and postmodern, while also being genuinely fun and hilarious. I really hope their next game is good. I remember doing the icebreaker ending for the achievement, and was stunned at their analysis of nationalism and the sad mind of a bigot/zealot. I had to stare at the ceiling for a minute to take it all in. I really suck at video games, but love the concept of this one. I was able to complete the Me trilogy on dumbass difficulty. Do you think I'd have a chance? Yes. Skill, at least what you would think of as traditional video game skills, aren't really a factor in completing the game. You just need to be excited to read a lot of dialogue and lore, make decisions that really matter based on what you think the character really desires, and not be afraid to have it get weird and uncomfortable sometimes. Getting through the story can go lots of different ways, and it's not your reflexes or even logical reasoning that does it, but intuition, emotion, and feeling. I don't know, it's a really hard game to describe. Mass Effect 2 and Fallout NV. My favorite games of all time. I'm Commander Shepard and this is my favorite comment on the Citadel. Few games make me think about them long after I've played them. One of those is Mass Effect. I still think about the characters and my choices from time to time. Astonishing game and a prime example of what only games can achieve that no other medium can. Hollow Knight. For how good of a game it is, I wonder how Silksong will compare if it ever comes out. Apparently it'll be out in the next 10 months. It was included in a list of Xbox games coming out in the next 12 months about 2 months ago. Inputting my money on a rush out for Christmas or March 2023. Journey. Not as long and vast as many games here, but an artistic masterpiece in my books. It'll age much better than most games too because of the simplicity. My first thought, when I saw the post title, I have never seen anything like it, before or since. I thought it was a cute easy chill game at first, and it was. But when I finished the game, saw the list of players I had interacted with during my game, and the realization of what it all symbolized floored me. It was absolutely my first time to actually realize, at 40ish years old, the art aspect of games. I intellectually knew video game development was an art, and I had been emotionally moved by plenty of games before. But Journey elevated the art for me, and opened my eyes to some indie games I would have previously ignored. Even then, I have not come across anything that comes close to what that game accomplished. It's simply sublime. There is no filler anywhere. Every level, every interaction, none of it is there to fill time. Everything there is for the story it presents. For all the games I say I wish I could experience again for the first time, Journey would be the real number one choice for me. Shadow of the Colossus. Looking for this. I can agree how some people feel it's clumsy, and it is, but it's much more than a video game. It's an experience. The ambience and feeling is superb. It was the first game I played where there was a complete absence of a timer, health bar, stats, map, etc. on the main screen while playing. It almost didn't look like a video game, it felt more like an interactive movie. As far as I'm concerned, the clumsiness is totally intentional. You're not playing as some disciplined warrior. Across all of the games from Team Ico, you're playing as some youngster in extraordinary circumstances, and the characters will aptly handle as such. Does it make for great responsive gameplay? Not exactly, but it does make for distinct feeling gameplay. Clumsiness/clunkiness is something people knocked The Last Guardian for, but given they kept this kind of feel across their games since Ico, I feel like it's almost certainly a deliberate choice to convey traits of their characters. Mario Kart Wii. Yes, this game is so good the graphics are well beyond good enough for playability, but the game is still old enough that it's susceptible to amazing fun like mega shortcuts. The music to every track stands out. They are the perfect mix of simplicity and perfection. They sound distinct enough to greatly differ from each other, and they aren't overdeveloped like some of the newer ones are. Overall, 10/10. One of my favorite games, and none of my Switch friends will agree. Lol. Outer Wilds. There is no other game with such a laser focus on exploration. Me at the beginning of Outer Wilds. This shit looks like it was made by a 7-year-old, and I keep dying. Me at the end of Outer Wilds. This is the greatest masterpiece of artwork ever conceived by humanity, and I keep crying. Ori and the Blind Forest, along with the sequel. Mastery in every aspect of the game. Art, mechanics, puzzles, platforming, fluidity in action, amazing chase sequences, and, I can't stress this enough, the soundtrack is a gift from God. Easily one of the few games I would use as an argument that video games can be works of art. Completely agree. Every aspect of the games is just top notch. They even made the sequel better than the first, which I didn't think would be possible. They both get a 10/10 score from me. Surprised nobody has said Terraria yet. Absolutely love Terraria. Every time someone says it's 2D Minecraft I squirm. Sorry, but in Minecraft, can you get a massive laser whip that will annihilate anything in its path as you spark through the air in your rocket boots fighting mega bosses that are significantly more insane than the Ender Dragon? Not to mention how large of an NPC community you can build and trade with, and just the sheer amount of unique items you can find. The game just does not get old. A little biased as I've recently finished it, but Dark Souls 3 does it for me. I've never wanted to replay a game so soon after finishing it. So many iconic bosses, great lore, sad backstories for characters. Again, a little biased, but some of the Dragon Quest games are truly brilliant. DQ11 recently was fantastic, but DQ5 has one amazing story. A shame the post game was one of the weaker ones. Kingdom Hearts. It was such an incredible adventure that I got to share with my son from the age of 7. It was violent but nobody actually died. The Heartless were an awesome metaphor for the unkindness in people's souls. The puzzles were fun and challenging to solve, and it was just challenging enough to attract out the time played without being too difficult for children to play. It even helped my son with his reading. He's now 23 and we still have that bond over Kingdom Hearts. Like and subscribe for more edit videos.